Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to create a database connection from OutSystems to Exasol. So first of all, we need to go to Service Center for your OutSystems environment, and then go to Administration, Database Connections, and create a new database connection. If you have successfully installed the Exasol connector in your OutSystems platform server, you should be able to see Exasol as an option here to select. Once you select, we have two options to create a connection to Exasol database server. Either the basic configuration, which you need to fill these fields, the server, the port, the schema name that you want to connect to, and the schema name is an optional field. You can just leave it blank. Username and password, and the log file, which you can specify a path where the log file will be created in your OutSystems server. And keep in mind that you need to give permission to read and write on that specific folder to create that file. Or you can just use the advanced configuration. In that case, you need to specify the username and password and the connection string as it is. So for now, I'm just going to use the basic configuration. I will specify the server of Exasol, the port number, which by default is 8563. The schema name, I'm just going to leave it blank for now. Username and password. And the log file, I'm just going to leave it blank. I will specify a name for this database connection. I'll say Exasol test connection. You can also add a description for it or just leave it blank. Then I'm just going to test the connection, and it says that the test was successful. Then I'm just going to create it. Now my database connection is created in Service Center. What we're going to do now is to create a new application and use this database connection in our application. So I'm just going to go to Service Studio. I'm going to create a new application. I'll select a template. I'll say name of the application, test connector, description, testing the Exasol connector. I'm gonna create the app, and this is just the default module. I'm just gonna create it. And now to be able to map the entities and the tables from the external database, we need to create an extension module in our application. So I'm just going to create another module. It's extension. I'm just going to call it test connector extension, and then create. This should lead me to Integration Studio. Now I have the extension open in Integration Studio, and you can now map the tables and the entities from the external database by going to Entities, right-click, Connect to External Database, and then you can see here all the database connections that you have in your Service Center. Now I'm gonna look for the connection that we have created, which is the Exasol test connection. And I'm gonna go to test scheme. These are the schemes that I have access to, and these are the tables that are in that scheme. So I'm just gonna add this table, click next, and now it's mapped. One more thing to do is just check out the data types and the field names and the primary key, all this kind of configuration to make sure that your fields are mapped correctly here. The ID column is auto-generated, etc. So far it looks good, so I'm just gonna publish. And choose a place to save it locally. And now we need to configure the physical database name with the logical database name. Here it can see that the logical database is the one that we are connected to, but now we need to specify that this is the database connection, that it should be the same. So now I managed to map the tables that I have in this schema that I want to use in my application. So I'm gonna go back to Service Center, Service Studio, sorry, and go to my main module, and I will have this extension as an dependency. I'll look for it, test Exasol connector. And here I can see that the table that I've already mapped in the extension, I'll just select it, click apply. And if I went to the data tab, I can see here the extension, I can see the table, and it's created along with all the built-in entity actions that OutSystems provide. You can also just view data as any other entity that you can create here. Of course, cannot preview it now because it's not published yet. So what I'm gonna do in this quick demo, I'm just gonna go to the main flow. I'm gonna create an entry, and then I'm just gonna create like scaffolding screens for the customers, and create a detail screen as normal of any other entity we have. I'm just gonna do some modification in the main screen. I will add here the ID column. Also, I want a column to delete it. I'll add button here. I'll call it delete and create new action. And here I'll just say delete this customer, just to make sure that all the entities entity actions are working as expected. And here I'm just gonna specify the customer ID. Also, I need to do like refresh data and Ajax refresh of the table. And it's gonna be Ajax submit, and add a confirmation message. Are you sure? Now I have a screen with a table like normal screen, and then I can create a new customer. So I'm just gonna add some modifications also in the customer detail. Here, when I save, I want to see the customer, not the name, but the ID, which is coming from that entity action. I want to return the ID. And I think that's it for this screen. And let's publish and see. Now the application is published, so I'm just gonna go browse it. So now I can see that my table has only one record, as you can see here on the screen. So I'm gonna try to create a new customer. And as you can see here, that the message I'm getting is returning the correct ID that has been added, as you can see here in that table. And also I can just do the normal features of any other entity by sorting the columns, ascending, descending. I can search for one record, can receive back. I can also edit the records. Click save, and you can see here it's been edited and it's all working as expected. So let's try the delete. Yes, I'm sure, and it's already refreshed. I refresh again, yeah, it has been deleted. And this is how you can create a connection from OutSystems to Exasol, and how to use this connection, map your data and tables from Exasol to OutSystems, and use the built-in features of OutSystems directly to Exasol server. Hello everyone. After downloading our first component, you can see in our demo app, one of the main features is the Exasol SQL editor, where you can write any SQL query and execute it directly to Exasol server. And of course, you need to select which connection you want to execute the query. For example, I'm just gonna select this database connection, and I'm just gonna write a normal select query. And can execute it, and as you can see here, you can get the results in a very dynamic way. So to be able to use this in your application, you can find in our application that we have an extension that you can find. It's called Exasol Connector Extension, and this extension has the Exasol execute function. And basically, this function takes two input parameters, the SQL query that you want to execute, and the connection name, which is the connection name that you have already installed or created in your service center, which can connect to your Exasol server. And the output, you can have a list of columns, list of rows, the count of affected, the count of the numbers of records, and the affected rows. Once you have added this into your application, this will work properly. But to have this output dynamically, we have also another module where you can find here a main flow with just web blocks that you can easily copy to your application, and you can have all the result set and the result set table. And we have just added to the main screen some JavaScript to hit Control Enter instead of just clicking execute, or some style sheet to have the styling of the table, and also have added some colors into the main theme. And that's basically how you can use the generic execute function. And this function complies with the syntax of Exasol. So you can write any query you want to, like import, export, anything would work as expected.